the issue of ultra processed foods.
Right.
I mean, I'm sure you and I talk about this all the time. Like, you really shouldn't be walking the grocery store beyond the outsides. And I just, the other day, I was thinking, I'm going to go buy groceries. And you know what? That whole place is the new alcohol LCBO.
Interesting.
Right? Because everything in the middle, most of it, is ultra processed foods. That's why it's shelf stable. Mm-hmm. If it's not in the freezer and not in the fresh produce and not in the back in the fresh meat thing, then what's in the middle?
So what are the principles to do? Like if someone wanted to optimize their nutrition to have the longest possible lifespan and health span, what are, so shop around the outside, talk more about the things that we are looking for that we know have an impact on that.
So you and I know that the thing going on right now is the Mediterranean diet. And it's actually the only one that I really say has endured. And people will look at it and go, oh yeah, that's cool. I just need to eat beans and veggies and some protein. But the idea is that you got to do this every day and at every meal. It's not like I'll just do this at dinner and let's skip breakfast and lunch because I'm going to mix that with intermittent fasting. And that just messes up your biology, in my view. And we'll talk about the intermittent fasting, and I'd love your feedback on that in a minute. I would say to you that the way I live it with Mediterranean diet is that it's calling out a couple things. It's calling out that you do need fruits, you do need vegetables, you do need protein, and they have to be all, I would say, clean. That doesn't mean that you can't buy that produce frozen because it's something that is more cost effective. It doesn't mean that you need to have a filet mignon. It means that you can actually open a can of fish that does not cost $20 a pound. And it does mean that you get rid of bad fats. And I believe that cheese is one of those bad fats because it's a treat, but I don't think there's been shown to be any huge value in cheese, right?
Yeah.
And then it's about grains. And how do people define grains? They don't really come out of a box and they're not pressed pasta. So if we're going to do something like that in the old world, it's beans, right?
Yeah.
And it's chickpeas.
Yeah.
It is oats and the granola that you can make without tons of sugar in it. And water. I know that we can go to Italy and wolf down all this food with 6 bottles of wine. That's not the idea.
Yeah, well, no, maybe we'll go on vacation and drink some wine in Italy. That would be amazing. Talk to me about water. Like that's, being hydrated is so huge. I think most of us are chronically dehydrated and that's massive. So why is it so important?
We are 40% water?
I think it's more than that actually. I think it's like 60%.
Water? Yeah.
And the brain is more than that even. I think the brain is like
But it's
well
about
over
flushing.
70,
It's about
right?
flushing, right? So I say to people, same thing, is that, can you imagine flushing your toilet when you don't restock the tank?
Right.
You can't flush the toilet. I know it's a horrible thing to look at, but that's what I would say. I think people also assume that if they drink a cup of coffee or a cup of tea, that's fluid and that's okay, but caffeine dehydrates us.
Okay.
So if I don't want to drink boring water, I have herbal tea.
Right.
And that's a way to have a flavor to it. And
Yeah.
there's so many other herbal teas that are healthy for you too.
Yeah, we've just ordered a whole ton of different herbal teas to have stocked in our house to make sure that in the afternoons and evenings, we have something that tastes great. It's a little bit of a ritual, right? Like you heat the water, you make the tea, and then something that's better, I think, than just a glass of water. During the day, I'll add citrus to the water to make it taste better when I'm in the office. Yes. But when I get brain fog, which I don't know if that's even a real term, but I like just, a little bit foggy or just like struggling to focus, drink some water, I feel better. Headache in the afternoon, drink some water, I feel better. A little bit sluggish and a little bit lack of energy, drink some water, I feel better. Like it's just incredible how so many of these symptoms that we associate with just living are actually just symptoms of dehydration.
Yes. And then my only little caveat is stop drinking water out of plastic bottles.
Right.
So one of my clients used to say, well, I'm going to get 6 bottles of water and make sure I drink it every day. I said, please don't. Can you just refill your water bottle?
Get a glass water bottle.
Yeah.
But why are microplastics such a problem?
Well, if you haven't heard, it's in your brain, it's in your arteries, and it's causing inflammation, and it's making you brain dumb and heart dumb. In other words, it prematurely causes dementia and cardiovascular disease.
Right. So this is a legitimate thing people should definitely seek to do.
Yes.
Is less plastic, more glass, especially when you're drinking water.
And that's just the start, right? We just need to know that all these takeout bins that we use, never heat them.
Okay.
Because the microplastics come out. Now, there's also this whole world about chemicals in our clothing, but I won't get into that.
That might be beyond the capacity for what that. Let's do that next time.
We just need to just focus on water for
Yeah.
now. You need to get the Lululemon dude to come and talk to you about his clothing.
All right. I'll cue that up.
You know, here's a good little fun one. So, Dr. Greg, what are those herbal teas? What's in your closet?
The herbal teas? Like what type of herbal tea do we have? Oh my gosh.
What do
We
you
have,
pick?
well, the kids love mint.
Mm.
I don't know if that, like, this is, this is what happens. This is the tiger doctor emerging and me being grilled. So awesome. Here we go. The kids love mint. I have one, which is a bit more chai oriented that I really, really enjoy. I do green tea sort of midday. I really like green tea.
Has caffeine in it.
I know but it's like 15 milligrams, not like 80, which is normally what I do. So like, that's why I say midday if I need a boost for the afternoon. Green tea is awesome. Judith likes chamomile. I don't. That's definitely an evening one for her. So yeah, different types for different scenarios, I think.
So you're not 60 yet.
No, I'm not.
No,
Close.
so don't.
Getting there.
Nowhere. And somehow, I don't know, in the last couple of years, I can get achy. Like when I was younger, I couldn't understand why these old people, my friend yesterday said, you're really old now because you're over 60. We are old. When we were 20.
60 is the new 30.
But he said when we were 20 and looking at people who were 60, we said they were old. Okay, so that really upset me, by the way. That was my optometrist friend.
Right.
But the point is that there are things that help reduce inflammation. So you might want to try turmeric tea.
Yep. Love it.
Right? And you might want to also try ginger tea.
Awesome.
So get those 2 other things.